And now, our feature presentation.
To infinity and beyond!
My name's Bond. James Bond.
That'll do, Piggy.
Bad boys, what you gonna do?
Sorry, with the box. What was in the box?
Damn! Ew! Get off of me! Ugh, as if.
A lot of people go to college for 7 years.
I know. They're called doctors.
Houston, we have a problem.
Hello. It's a lovely Monday morning here. Monday morning, Monday afternoon. My bad. It's Monday. And that's different. I like your shirt.
Hey, thanks.
I like that. It's like everything about, and you've got your little sexy sunglasses on too. I feel like I'm looking at Jonathan Bailey himself from the new Jurassic Park movie.
I wish.
Fathers, hide your daughters. Well, anyway, sorry, I don't get that. I don't get this. Yeah, hot and bothered at the start of a show. But my God, man, you're bringing the heat. Well, if this is your first time joining us, welcome in, everybody. This is not the show that we typically do where I just hit on Joseph for an hour. This is 52/1995, your live movie conversation podcast where we talk in depth about the movies of 1995. I'm your host, Cody, and I'm thrilled to be joined this week by my fantastic co-host that I've objectified, Joseph. Welcome in, Joseph. Like I was saying, if you are tuning in for the very first time, we're glad that you're here. Stick around and make some comments in the chat. We love to hear from you, as long as you're not an idiot or a jackass or a jerk or any of the things that we kind of get in here sometimes. We're glad that you're here anyway. Every week, 52 weeks to be exact, we explore a different film from the year 1995. Some of them are classic hits that you all know and love, and some of them are surprising. You get a surprise every once in a while, or a movie that you haven't watched ever. You get these little surprises throughout the year. It's been pretty nice. But anyway, we dive into this year's important releases. We discuss them into detail, and then I chat with my guest about their thoughts, their experiences with the movie. And currently, we are in the last, we're in a June month. We do these by themes. Our June theme is explosives and expletives, where every movie that we've been talking about has been an action movie filled with a lot of, expletives, bad words, cuss words, some might say. Yeah. And we're closing out this month with a first here on the 52 / universe, a sequel. We are actually getting to do a sequel to a movie that we previously done, which was El Mariachi, and we're doing the sequel to this, and it is called Desperado. So before we jump into that movie and talk,
people.
What'd you say to me?
I said first of many, people.
That's right. We're just going to keep doing sequels. It's only going to be, oh man, what a great idea for a podcast where you just talk about sequels. You never talk about the original. Only sequels here.
You could do that with Die Hard.
I could do that with Die Hard. I'll never watch the first one. I won't. You won't make me. Anyway, let's objectify our guests some more. Joseph, thank you for joining me on such short notice and for jumping in. This was going to be a Spencer movie, and he was actually going to join me for this, but because I moved it to Monday, he could not join me. So unfortunate for him, and he loves to talk. He loves El Mariachi. He loves El Mariachi. He loves El Mariachi, and we do this in spirit for him. But he's not here, and we miss him every day. He's not dead. He's not dead. He's not dead. He's just very busy. Anyway, Joseph, was this the first time that you'd seen Desperado?
I think so. It didn't, there were parts of it that kind of felt familiar, but I don't think I've ever actually watched.
Were the familiar parts of this movie because it was, it kind of very similar to El Mariachi.
Maybe it's just flashbacks because it's like a bigger budget remake and kind of.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like that. I kind of compare what we're watching here to Evil Dead a little bit, because Evil Dead 2 is not so much a sequel to Evil Dead 1. It's more of a reimagining. I've got more money, but it's still called a sequel.
And it's still different.
Yeah. They tidy it up a little bit in this movie and give you like the flashback, but it's the same story. It's the same story. And maybe
To be fair,
go ahead.
Revenge is like, I mean, it's pretty common. So like,
yeah,
you can rehash it a million times. Like,
let's see, we've got the jackassery covered here. We're talking about Shrek 2 Forever. That's about my sequel podcast that we're going to start. And I think what I thought I had seen was actually all in the third movie. Yes, this is actually two-part, the second part of a trilogy here. And yeah, no, you haven't seen this. I had seen this movie. I had never seen El Mariachi when I watched it first. And I've seen the entire series. I was hyped. I will tell you, I was hyped when the third one came out. I made my dad take me to the theater to see it because
nice.
I was like, Desperado's so badass. I loved Desperado growing up, and I don't think I'd seen an unedited version of Desperado.
So you loved it even more.
I loved it even more once I got to see the unedited version of Desperado, and we'll get into that. But anything, okay, so you don't think you'd seen this before. This is your first time watching this. Let's see. What else do I want to ask you about it? You big Robert Rodriguez guy? You like Robert Rodriguez?
I like him. I was maybe a little bit surprised with how it didn't feel like that much of a step up from El Mariachi for like the budget difference.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, and I know like the big names, like a lot of that money is going to them, so I get that. But when I saw like, I think 1,000 times the budget is what they said.
1,000 times. So he spent $7,000 on his first movie, El Mariachi, and then this one cost $7 million. Still a low budget in Hollywood terms, but 1,000 times. And you're absolutely right. There's nothing in this that kind of makes me, I don't know, it didn't wow me as much as the first one did with his ability, like what he did with such a low budget. Because the shots, everything, and honestly, he skimped on the squibs. We talked a lot about the squibs the last time that we talked about El Mariachi, which are just blood bags that explode on people to simulate being shot. And this was a lot of like almost like paintballs were what they were. Which I think maybe cost more money. So that's a step up. Maybe people are not getting hurt by the squibs exploding on their chest. I don't know. But yeah, you're right. There are some big names in here, and bigger names now to us. Antonio Banderas was kind of already an established name, at least in film. Salma Hayek, this is her first like big American movie, so she's not known to America just yet. But now we get her in all her glory. Good opener, right, for Salma. And then we get like Cheech Marin in this. We get a Machete himself. Doesn't say a word in this movie. I don't think he's like super famous. Danny Trejo's not super famous at this point, but he is popping up a lot more. Robert Rodriguez will use him. He'll be in, I think he's in Heat, that we'll talk about later this year, which is going to be fun. So I don't know. It's an interesting movie, and it's interesting when you know that there's going to be a third, like there's a third one in this bunch. El Mariachi was fun because of the $7,000 that it took to film that movie, and how it kind of all captivate. I feel like it did. I feel like it kind of surprised all of us when we were watching it. We were like, wow, that's impressive. For if I had $7,000, we could make this movie and make it interesting. One thing I do like about this movie, though, is it kind of changes the mariachi lore, I think. Where we have a guy who is mistaken for in the first one, we have a guy that is mistaken for like an assassin. And the whole time he's running throughout that movie, he's not firing any gun. He's just a guitar player. And this one, he's not a guitar player. Like, he's not a guitar player, really. He is just an assassin.
Yeah. I don't know how do we just dismiss like what happened in the first movie, or like, I don't know how I haven't read enough to know, like, because the weird thing about it is the original guy pops up in this movie.
Yeah, which is crazy.
So is it like a full recast, or like?
Yes, it is a full recast
Okay.
of the El Mariachi from the first one. Antonio Banderas takes over as this title character, and then as a friend, I guess, as a friendship thing, the original guy comes back as one of his.
Okay.
Yeah. So he is not that guy. Which could be confusing, though. I mean, you watch these back to back to back, and you're like, "What the hell is that guy doing there?" So,
for a moment, like, the more you think about it, like, what you're saying is the truth, because like they do the whole like reshoots with him in it, the flashbacks and stuff, and the story is the same about like him getting shot and the woman he loves kills and all that. But then when the guy pops up at the end, I'm like, it came into my head that I was like, oh, so wait, the first movie they were mistaking him for him, or like that's where the confusion was, and I just got twisted up a little bit. So
yeah, no, I think if you were to watch these back to back without having seen Desperado before or anything, you're right to be confused about it. So it is essentially just Evil Dead. And we're just going to recast the main guy because we've got Antonio Banderas. So we're going to put him in instead.
Star power, baby.
And I do think that Antonio Banderas does give us something that maybe the last guy couldn't give us. And I don't know if the last guy was meant to be an actor. He was a friend of Robert Rodriguez's, and I think he was more like wanted to be on the sidelines. So not that he wasn't good. He was good. But I think Antonio Banderas brings something to this movie that is really interesting to me. So let's talk about it, though. Let's go a little bit more into it. The name of the movie is Desperado, as we've been talking about. And this movie came out on my parents' anniversary, which is August 25th, 1995. Salute to the parentals for getting married and making me. It was directed and written by Robert Rodriguez, also edited by Robert Rodriguez. He wanted to make sure you knew that. The cast includes Antonio Banderas as El Mariachi, or Manito, Joaquim de Almeida as Cesar, or Bucho, Salma Hayek as Carolina, Steve Buscemi as Buscemi, Cheech Marin as short bartender, Quentin Tarantino as pickup guy. Somebody already mentioned our Tarantino cameo we've got here. Carlos Gomez as Memo, or right hand, and Danny Trejo as Navajas. Couple other guys in here, like we had already kind of mentioned, the dude from the original. I forget what his name is. I had it written down somewhere, and it doesn't look like I have it written down on this piece of paper, so we're good. Let me give you the synopsis. Mariachi plunges headfirst into the dark border underworld when he follows a trail of blood to the last of the infamous Mexican drug lords, Bucho, for an action-packed, bullet-ridden showdown. With the help of his best friend, played by Steve Buscemi, and a beautiful bookstore owner, the Mariachi tracks Bucho, takes on his army of desperados, and leaves a trail of blood of his own. This movie had a budget of $7 million, 1,000 times it's the budget of El Mariachi. And the box office return, still a very positive box office return. It made $58 million. So these movies are a success. Rotten Tomatoes gave this 70%. IMDb at 7.1 and Letterboxd at 3.5. So they're all very, very similar. Roger Ebert did not like this movie as much as he liked El Mariachi, though. He said most of the screen time involves violence by knife, gun, and explosive. And eventually we realized that this isn't a story. It's a video game. As in Mortal Kombat, targets jump up simply to be shot down. Desperado is, however, a lot better looking than Mortal Kombat, a movie that looks like it was skimping on electricity. He gave it 2 out of 4 stars. So very mid to Raj. But Marjorie Baumgarten, who is often on here, said it's a bust-a-gut film experience that reveals Rodriguez as both a stylist versed in mechanics of popular storytelling and a maverick whose ingenuity guides him along a singular path. She gave it 4 out of 5 stars.
Nice.
And then we've already kind of mentioned some things. So the legacy of this, Once Upon a Time in Mexico, a sequel that will come out 9 years later, I think, 95, 8 years later, 2003 is when it came out. And then there would be an El Mariachi TV show that ran on El Rey in 2014 for 1 season. I heard it was good, just didn't have the audience. So the legend lives on in TV, but it doesn't because it's canceled. So let's talk about some of our favorite scenes in this movie. What are some scenes that really stuck out to you? Get the notebook out.
Got it. Check.
I would love to get a peek into your notebook someday.
No way. I'm gonna burn it.
Damn.
I think the very first scene of the movie is mine. Wait, I think it was the first thing that happened.
Where
When
Buscemi walks into the
Buscemi
bar
comes in and tells the tale of the other bar.
It's so funny.
It's great. It might be my favorite part of the whole movie.
It is pretty great. I'm not gonna lie. There's one scene toward the end that I think I might like just because I was, jaw on the floor when it happened. I was like, that was awesome. But the bar story at the very beginning, you're right, is so classic.
Strong start. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we get him Buscemi, like we don't have any context to his character at all at this point. He's just walking into this bar saloon looking joint, being very
American.
different. What'd you say?
I just said American. I was
American,
he's
yeah.
just like like he's just so hunky dory
Very,
about
like,
everything.
Touristy, American, yeah. And we get some other people along the way, which I really appreciated, like little glimpses of like other people in the bar and interactions that were very funny. But yeah, they do a great job of like him telling this story of like mariachi in another bar that turns into this crazy shootout, kills everybody in the place while he's just like having his beer off to the side and gets scared.
I mean, without any context, knowing any context at all, I think it's so funny that he's just like, yeah, this guy just killing people left and right and just telling the story. It's funny when you have none of that. Like if Steve Buscemi was not connected to Antonio Banderas' character at all, it would have been even better, maybe.
Yeah.
If this guy's just like, ooh, this beer is delicious.
And that's how they kind of set it up, is like we don't know that he's connected with mariachi at this point in any way. So it's very funny and comical as he's recounting, and like they're doing flashbacks, and like the people in the bar are like really nervous, and then they get really curious about this guy because we find out that they're like involved with this Bucho guy who is enemy number 1 for our boy mariachi.
He's like, I can't. The name is it was like bitch or Bucho, Buco, bitch, bitch.
That was great.
It
Man,
was-
Buscemi for the brief role is very good.
I think watching this made me realize how much I really like Steve Buscemi and how good at everything he is. Like Reservoir Dogs, he's incredible. Like anything that he's been in with, Tarantino wise is incredible. Anything he's done for the Coen brothers is incredible. Like he's such a good he's a good dramatic actor. He's a good very good comedic actor. Doesn't get enough credit, I think.
He's got great delivery. And do you think it's because he looks so strange?
Yeah, I mean, he is such a strange looking dude. I've seen early pictures of Buscemi though, where I'd be like, he's not bad looking.
And then he gets very pale.
he ends up in like Adam Sandler movies too.
Yeah.
It just
A lot of it.
doesn't care. I think that is the kind of guy that I imagine just enjoys his job so much.
Loves it.
Probably isn't making crazy amounts of money, but is just, I mean, he's way richer than any of us will ever be combined. But but yeah, he just seems like just having the time of his life every movie.
Very strangely almost out of place entirely in this movie, but it somehow worked.
I actually really liked the addition of Cheech Marin in here too.
Yeah, Cheech is great.
Cheech is great, man. And
That's
anytime
toothpick.
oh, that's what that's for. Okay, Bucco, bitch. Cheech Marin's so good in this. Good addition to the list of stars that will work with Robert Rodriguez. We'll see. You'll see him again, and from Dusk Till Dawn, he's in that, and he's done some other things, whether it's Spy Kids or I don't think he was in the Sin Cities at all. I don't think he was. I forget that he did Sin City.
I forget that there's multiple.
Yeah, but he only did one, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think. I don't know. I loved Sin City when it came out. How do you feel?
I've only seen it one time when it first came out, so that'd be a fun one to go back and watch again.
You want to do a Robert Rodriguez deep dive? Watch all the Spy Kids movies?
Just get what was it, Orson Welles out of here?
Yeah, Orson Welles, screw that guy. Important meat. No, I want to do a Robert Rodriguez deep dive. It's so strange, Robert Rodriguez's filmography. It's like these three movies, Sin City, and then Spy Kids, Alita Battle Angels in there, Planet Terror's in there, Machete, all the Machete movies. He's just all over the place.
Yeah. He had to do something for the kids,
Shark Boy Lava Girl?
I mean, I've heard of it.
You've heard of it.
I don't know it.
You don't
probably never know it.
That's okay. Dan, there's some other movies on this list where I'm like, I have never heard of this movie in my life. I forgot he did The Faculty.
Love The Faculty.
I love The Faculty so very much.
We missed The Faculty, didn't we?
No, 98.
Oh, wow. Okay,
I love The Faculty. One of my favorite 90s movies. It's like Scream, and then The Faculty is right next to it.
That's great.
I love it. I Know What You Did Last Summer. That's up there too.
The remake?
It's not as good. No, we get the Tarasco bar story. We learn about this. I like that he when he's telling the story, all the embellishments. I like the shadows. Like you can. He's like, "What did he look like? What did he look like?" And he's like, "Oh, I never saw his face." But every time he moved, the shadows moved perfectly to where it would. And I like that Rodriguez did that. As he was walking, it was so good. Yeah,
as they're showing it, there were a couple of moments where it was like, oh, here we go. Nope, back into the shadows. It's like, dang, dude, the technical work there was spot on.
It was pretty great. And then we get the end where the comedic moment where Cheech Marin's like, "Hey, the bartender lives," and he's like, "Oh no. The bartender gets it the worst of all," which is very funny. So we get violence, but not tons of violence just yet.
Not yet. Not till we get to this part.
I was about to say until we get to
Tarasco.
Tarasco, when the mariachi actually visits the Tarasco bar. What are your favorite moments from the fight?
Man,
Everything.
So we've got
this is happening.
For the first thing that's of note is we've got Tarantino in the back room of the bar. Just if I had seen this movie at any point, definitely did not remember that he was gonna pop up.
Oh, I forgot completely about Tarantino being in this.
So he's like back of the bar in this room with these guys as mariachi shows up, and he does his whole joke bit and all that. And we'll come back to that part of the scene does involve, I think, my biggest laugh of the whole movie. Not the joke, but
oh, you mean Tarantino's joke?
No, not Tarantino's joke. I mean, it was fine.
It was fine. It's not a funny joke.
It's not great, but I love the long jokes that don't end up being like that funny because it's just like so much build up, and then the way he thinks it's the funniest thing ever after he delivers it, it's just like, yeah, man.
I know that this is all revolves around like drug dealing and everything, and Tarantino's the pickup man, but like none of that is explained to but we see like the backroom dealings where they go into that really, really shitty toilet, literally. The shitty toilet that is
biggest scare. Yeah,
biggest scare. There's just
worse than the bathroom in Saw.
Is it? Have you seen Train Spotting?
I don't think so.
Okay, Danny Boyle, homework for you. Watch Train Spotting. There is a segment of Train Spotting where it's called it's like the worst bathroom in England or in Scotland. And it is gross. And at some point there's like some really like whimsical, fantastical shooting there, but like his character, Ewan McGregor's character is like super high on heroin and he's like climbing out of this toilet that is just filled with duty. Duty and duty water. It's
like he's actually climbing out, or that's
yes.
what he's like tripping and seeing.
I think he is tripped. Like we're always supposed to know that like we're basically high. The audience is high the entire time. And that's kind of what you see him doing. Because that part of it is like he's doing a drug that suddenly makes him it's like a diuretic and makes him want to poop. So he has to go to this bathroom and do that, and so it's like him facing that fear and actually doing it. It's Trainspotting's an interesting movie. I love it. It's really great if you like Danny Boyle and any of the stuff. It's very early Danny Boyle, seeing what
Never heard of him.
Never heard of him?
Yeah,
we only talked about his first movie this year, Shallow Grave.
Never heard of it.
I hate you. I'm off this train of you with your Jonathan Bailey glasses on.
Whoa, man.
I'm out now.
That's all I want. I just wanted to get you there. Stop sexualizing me.
I know. I'm sorry. My bad, man.
Let's start sexualizing Antonio Banderas instead.
Oh my gosh. And will I?
He looks good.
He does look good. Antonio's a good-looking man. I think that guy looks great to this day. Like any movie that he's been in, he still looks good.
Yeah, I saw him in something recently. Even I think he had short hair.
And both of these actors, Salma Hayek and Antonio Banderas, have they aged that much? Still got it.
Crushing
Gorgeous. Just two beautiful people on this planet. Shouldn't exist. I hate them.
Is Salma Hayek Spanish as well?
She's Mexican.
Spanish? Oh,
I think Salma Hayek's Mexican. Yeah.
Antonio's from Spain, though, right?
Yes.
Okay. I was just wondering if maybe they had something figured out over there that we need to go investigate or something about aging, but guess not.
No, they're just gorgeous people that have a lot of money.
That's probably what it is. It's probably the money, isn't it?
It's the money. It's definitely the money.
That makes a little sense.
All right. So what other parts? Sorry, I keep cutting you off.
No. So we got Tarantino's back in the back room, and then mariachi. The whole setup is great. I like the new guitar case with like the
The
because it
false
wasn't like
cover.
that in Mariachi, right?
No,
Okay,
he was
I
a
didn't
true
remember
guitar.
that.
The whole thing in El Mariachi was that he got confused for another guy who had a guitar case full of guns, but he had a real guitar case. And they got
Right.
switched at one point.
They just mashed them together here, where it looks like he's got a guitar in there, but then it's like the slow creak up just to reveal an arsenal under there. I loved it. And then we also get the sleeve guns, which is always fun. Big shootout, lots of paintballs, I guess, whatever, not squibs,
Not squibs.
everywhere. Lot of fun action moments. Like at the very beginning, how he had the guy like close to him and he like twirls him around, and they're all like shooting him.
I really like in this one. I think the choreography of this scene, and I think that's something that Robert Rodriguez does so well, because we saw at El Mariachi what he could do with like limited space and what he's doing with the gunfights and how fun they are. It takes like it does give it a comedic element to it, but it's so like fun to watch and see them moving through it. I love the way Antonio Banderas fires those guns, though. Almost like each one is like a whip, like
where he's slapping them.
Yeah, that's so cool. And like he does a little of the behind the back action every once.
Oh yeah,
man,
ton of people dead behind the back. Yeah, it makes you think like gunslinging could be so much fun, you know?
Literally slinging them, just
yeah.
Super cool. And my favorite part of the gunfight scene is with the guy that comes out from the back to fight him, and they keep fighting over guns, and they do the slide on the bar towards each other, and it like guns of they're completely out of bullets. I love that.
Man.
And then like the continuous like searching for guns to try and find one that has bullets in it is super funny. And then he just snaps his neck.
I kind of wish after he snapped his neck, he would have like tried the gun to see if that one had a bullet in it, just to see, you know.
That would have been good. That would have been really good.
Because it was, how many guns did they go through that were just?
Oh my gosh,
so good, so funny. Oh.
And we see, we see all like the Uzis, we see like some pistols, we see the shotgun, which he uses quite a bit of. It's just good. It's just all so good. Guns, man. And then Cheech gets his, man.
But we knew the bartender wasn't going to make it out. Not a chance.
But it was an accident. He didn't, Cheech. He was going to let Cheech live, I think.
You think?
Yeah. He was going to take him to Bucho.
Maybe.
And then that guy blasted him.
Yeah, during all this, Tarantino gets shot in the back too, because they're like, "Friend of yours?" No, man, no.
It's one of those things where you get a character like Tarantino, a guy that is kind of annoying. Like, I love Tarantino; he's a genius, but can be one of the most annoying people on the planet. And he's already annoying in this movie, and then you just see him get blasted.
I feel like almost every time I've seen him on the screen, I felt the same way. It's just like, I don't know, something about him.
Well, he usually gets his too. Like, he usually gets killed in every movie there. Like Django, he gets it. Planet Terror, he gets it. Trying to think, he doesn't get it in Pulp Fiction, even though that's probably his most annoying role.
Somebody go back and kill him in that, would you?
Yeah, I mean, he says the N-word a lot. Hey, Denzel got him though. Denzel said, "Hey, man,
thank you, Denzel, wherever you're at."
Yeah, thank you, Denzel. I love Quentin, but yeah, let's cool it, bro. Let's cool it.
Maybe I think I would like Quentin a lot more if he wasn't in things.
You don't need to be in your movies. You don't need to M. Night Shyamalan these movies.
You don't.
I know that's
and you don't. While we're talking about it, you don't either, M. Night. Like,
no, you don't add anything to those stories.
You're not super annoying in yours, but like you're saying, not really like bringing much to it.
And like Hitchcock, when Hitchcock did it, he was just like in the back. He
Yeah.
never said a line. He said a line one time, but like inconsequential.
I like that. I be in your own movie. That's great. Just you don't even talk. Just be in there.
So
Let people
far, I
spot you
think.
and be like, oh.
So far, I think it's like Orson Welles is the only person that can direct himself in his own movie, and Bradley Cooper. I think Bradley Cooper did a good job in his movie. So,
Only
and
two,
he's done
huh?
it twice. Only two. That's I could probably think of some more, but
Yeah.
right
On the
now,
spot.
I'm gonna go
You
with
got
those
homework,
two.
so we'll expect a list next time.
And Bradley Cooper's only done 2 movies, and they've been pretty decent. At least one of them was better than the other. But
Wait, what are the two?
Maestro and Stars Born.
Oh, I don't think I knew you did Stars Born.
Yeah, he's very good in that. Very good in that. So, anything else from the Tarasco bar fight?
The only other thing I wrote down was like when the guy came at him with the knife, and he like did like the kick and launched him,
Oh,
and then like peppered him while he was flying back. I thought that was really funny.
we get that a couple. He gets the flying back thing a couple times.
Oh no, what is happening?
Oh, we're getting an overheating moment.
Gosh, I'm sorry.
You're good. I'll continue. We'll see you in another life. Hopefully we can't still hear him. He'll duck out here. I'm sure he probably has some scenes in between the one that I'm going to say next, but I skipped straight to the bookstore burning, which is after we meet Salma Hayek. And I'm only listing one Salma Hayek scene on my best scenes, but again, these 4 scenes that I have listed are basically the 4 like action set pieces of the movie. And so the bookstore burning, that's after they've, had sex and had that weird, like interesting, steamy sex scene, which we'll talk a little bit more about. But Bucho comes, he wants to burn the bookstore down, and they have to escape. And then they do more of the those action shootouts. There's a couple of cool shootouts in there. Salma Hayek gets a great shot on one of these guys, and it was kind of badass the way that she just killed a dude like it was nothing. That's kind of what I love about this movie is like it. And Ebert makes a good point whenever he's talking about like this is a video game. People are just popping up and they knock them down, and that's kind of what it felt like, but in the coolest way possible. I think it was fun. It was entertaining. And then you get her putting on her 2 mismatched shoes to escape, and them like having to jump across the building while people are shooting at them from below. It's awesome. And then you see him, Antonio Banderas, do the thing that we were just talking about, where he jumps from the building and, shoots while leaping, and that was pretty awesome. And then the next big thing is like the poster. It's the obvious explosion as Antonio Banderas and Salma Hayek are walking away from that explosion, and it is the poster. It is what I put in the Instagram post. It's the coolest shot of the film, probably easily. I mean, you got these 2 hot people just walking away from a big explosion and like the most badass explosion action sequence. I mean, what's better than that? For real. What is better than that? Nothing. So that's the next scene that I had down. And then I got to our mariachis fight is the last one that I picked. There are a lot more scenes in this movie that I have not picked. I didn't pick the part where Buscemi got shot. I didn't pick got not shot. He got knifed by Danny Trejo, throwing knifed. I didn't pick any of like the Bucho stuff. So I just went straight to that kind of like end fight sequence where Antonio Banderas has invited his 2 other fellow mariachi men to join him. And this is the part as a 10-year-old child watching this movie, probably 10, 11, watching this movie. And I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen on television, because we've already got Antonio Banderas with his guitar case full of all these fun guns and gadgets and things like that. And then we get his other 2 buddies who are carrying guitar cases as well. One of the guitar cases is a rocket launcher. And this guy does this like cool little setup with it. And he kind of does like a little split with it, like a superhero split, like Black Widow, shoots the rocket launcher from his guitar case. Incredible. And then the other mariachi, the one that played the original El Mariachi, with his machine gun cases that he has, and he carries in both hands, and he reloads them or cocks them, I guess, by just taking the handles and pushing down. It was easily the coolest thing I had ever seen up until my point in life. Like, what is better than that? It is the coolest. Like, I remember recording this on VHS on my VCR, and it was on our Fox station one night, and I was like, this is going to be great. I watched it. I watched that VHS over and over and over again. Loved this movie because of stuff like that. So we're getting Bucco back here. Here he is. He's so fresh and so clean. Can he hear us?
He can hear us.
Sorry, I was just going over my other two scenes that I had written down, and you might have some filler in here. I said the bookstore. I went straight to the bookstore burning. So like that whole action sequence there with the shootout and everything, and them jumping across the roof. And then my next scene was the mariachis, the three mariachis together fighting, and that shootout
band
scene.
Together.
And that was like the four that I had. Just those were the best scenes to me. I skipped over Buscemi and some of that stuff. But if you have some of that stuff, go for it.
The only other thing I want to call attention to, just because of how funny it was to me, like back to back. So we get the whole like sex scene with Mariachi and Carolina, which very steamy and all that. And then right after, it jumps to Bucco also having sex with like his lady friend, and the contrast is just night and day. Like Mariachi and Carolina is like so sensual and like erotic. There's candles, like sexy guitar riffs. Cuts to Bucco, and it's just like they both still have their clothes on. She's like riding on top of him. He gives her one slap on the ass, and then like it's over, and she like comes in to like get cutesy with him, and he shotguns cigar smoke into her mouth. And she like freaks out and storms off.
I forgot he took the big drag and just
and just like going from that to that so like quickly was very, very funny to me, and obviously intentional. But that's the only other thing I had.
I was talking about how when I was 10 years old, I know that I recorded this. It was on our Fox station one night, 10, 11, whenever it came on. And I recorded it, and I remember watching it over and over. And the main thing that I remember from watching us, record that off of television is the three mariachis fight. Because I remember very vividly, I thought it was so cool that the guy had the rocket launcher and the guy had the machine guns. I love that. I was like, oh, you think this guy's cool with his guitar case full of guns? These guys actually just have guitar case guns.
Right.
And that is to the point where like we go from like there's no real realism in this movie, but then we just go fly off the handle with it.
Oh my gosh.
Why not?
I mean, imagine if you could just have that and just spin it to reload it.
So good. And why does he have to take the stance every time? He does that Black Widow like stance with it.
Wide leg out. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, you can just fire it from, standing if you want.
Probably because he's firing a real rocket, right?
Oh, maybe. I mean, he might.
I don't know. I didn't look into
the only other thing I could think is like he's doing it to get low as possible so he can shoot under the car, the bulletproof car. Although it's a rocket.
I mean, he's 2 for 2, so whatever he's doing.
Yeah, it was working. It worked for him. And then, the kid that we haven't even mentioned the child guitar player that has been popping up every so often in this movie. And Antonio Banderas keeps, running into, he gets shot in this scene. And then you
What
get
is he doing there?
What is he doing there? Why? He's got to go get his guitar. He just wants to be a guitar player. He's going to be the best. His dad just sits at home and watches television. Poor kid.
Is this the inspiration for Coco?
Yes. Maybe that's why I like Coco so much, is that I'm just wishing that Miguel would pull out his guitar case gun and just start shooting everybody and sending them to the afterlife.
Maybe in the sequel.
Maybe. I mean, the bad guy is kind of Bucho, you know?
Yeah.
It's
like, I could see it.
I could see it. We could connect them.
We can connect them.
If you wanted to do if you wanted to do a pairing, Coco and Desperado.
Perfect pairing.
Perfect pairing. Nobody says anything different. It's get your
That
children
guy who played
TV.
The guy who played Bucho is also like a villain in one of the seasons of 24.
I liked him a lot.
I feel like his name was Cesar in that too. I might be wrong, but
Cesar. He's good. He's in Clear and Present Danger. I'm assuming as a bad guy in that. Fast Five.
Definitely
I'm
a bad guy.
I'm definitely a bad guy in that. Yes, Ramon is who he plays in.
Ramon.
24.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, he's a good bad guy in that too.
Yeah, he is a good bad guy.
Yeah.
Portuguese actor. He is a better bad guy than the original bad guy from El Mariachi. The American guy that could not speak Spanish at all.
The white dude. Yeah.
Who does come back for this one?
Yeah, he gets a couple moments, right? The reshoot, and then like the dream at the beginning.
Where he takes,
which I didn't realize was a dream for the longest.
Yeah, he takes the thing. That's how you know it's that guy. What is his name? Moco or something like that, which means booger in Spanish. I'm pretty sure. It means.
It's not
booger.
Momo. I know that.
It's not Momo. I think it's Moco. I think it is Moco. Yeah, that was cool to see that, and it was both of them. So it was the girl that played the girl in the original. Was playing herself dead on the ground, and then that guy came back too. So
what about was Mustache Guy the same too? I couldn't.
The guy with the hat, the shrug guy.
Oh no, shrug. That guy was funny in this one. I'm sorry. Wait, was he supposed to be? Was he supposed to be the same? No way. The mustache guy from the first one was way different.
Yeah, I'm not sure who you're talking about. What mustache guy?
From the first mariachi. You remember the guy that always wore the shades with the real prominent mustache?
I don't think
he was in like the flashbacks still.
Yeah, I don't know.
I couldn't tell if it was the same guy or not. Doesn't matter at all.
Doesn't matter. But I know who you're talking about now. We got there. We got there. What other scenes? Anything that we missed that you wanted to talk about?
I don't think so. I think we the only other thing I had written down that I don't know if you talked about or not was Danny Trejo's little moment.
I didn't. I avoided that whole scene. I don't know why, because it is super important.
It was fun with the throwing knives. Yeah,
and just nails them. Kills Buscemi, and then stabs the mariachi 4 times, 3 times.
3 or 4 in him.
And then
everybody else is a kill shot,
and then gets mistaken for the mariachi, which is kind of a send up of the last movie, like a mistaken identity. That was fun. And we get a very cool shootout. He takes out a bunch of Bucho's guys, and then himself getting killed by the one random kid and girl, Bucho's girl.
Yeah, I thought it was just so clever.
I was sad. It made me so sad, though.
Yeah, it was short lived, but I thought it was so clever how they put all this emphasis on the bulletproof car, and then he comes in with the knives. Just doesn't matter.
If he can see you, then you're not. Yeah, I like the little window thing for the gun though, in the car.
And the bulletproof lid.
Oh man, when Bucho shoots that at Shrug, it works. Hey,
Right, it
good.
works good.
All right, get out there and find my dude. Good scene as well. Although
scene.
sad because we do lose Buscemi, which kind of goes into my next part, which is favorite character, or is there a scene stealer, or both?
I did really like Navias, I guess is the name. Is that right? For
Danny Trejo's character?
character?
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked his character a lot. He's kind of like lurking most of the time, and then he like chooses his moment, does his thing, and then he's gone. And he was actually on their team, which was the funniest part. He was like, I guess Bucho's boss,
Yeah.
like hired somebody else to help out because he was like, y'all aren't getting it done. And so this whole mistaken identity that you referenced, he's like, he's like asking him to describe the guy, hoping that it's somebody else, and it's just like check. So, but I thought he did a really good job, especially like no words.
Yeah.
Is hard to be an important character a lot of times. The other one I put down was short bartender.
Short bartender.
Cheech was very good.
Cheech is good. I put Buscemi because I thought Buscemi was great in this. He's short-lived role, but like I wanted more of that. I was like, "How are you guys friends? Like, where did he pick
Give me
you
the
up?"
backstory.
Yeah, I want the backstory of Buscemi and Antonio Banderas being friends. Because in what world would you make friends with that guy? But he seems cool with it. He's like, yeah, I'll go along with this. No more bloodbaths, though. And then it keeps leading to him. So we get short-lived Buscemi, which is sad. He's kind of my scene stealer. But I thought, like, again, El Mariachi, I'm with him. He's both funny, he's sexy, he's badass. All three, like, run into one, rolled up into one. I love him.
Full package.
Full package. I dream of being that guy. Salma's bringing it though too. I mean, her character's good. She is also equally funny, sexy, and badass at times. So they're kind of just mirroring each other, and I like that.
Yeah, good tandem.
Yeah. Any memorable lines that stood out to you? Favorite quotes?
I only have a few.
Same.
And I went back too because I was like, maybe I missed some, but there was nothing big. One of them from Mariachi. This is, I guess, towards the end before the big showdown. He's looking in the mirror. Give me the strength to be what I was, and forgive me for what I am.
Yeah,
I thought that was like
it's a good one.
Maybe the best line of the whole movie. And then, in reference to my name, at the beginning of the movie when it was Tarantino. Tarantino's talking about he comes in to like do the pickup and all this, and he said, "Yeah, me and Buco, we go way back." And the bartender corrects him. He's like, "Bucho," and he says, "Yeah, him too."
Yeah, him too. The funniest thing that Tarantino says in this movie.
It was.
Yeah, him too. I like when the El Mariachi goes into confession and he says, "Bless me, Father, for I've just killed quite a few men." And Buscemi just goes, "No shit."
Great.
It's great. Anything else you got? I got a couple more.
That's all. Those were my only two. So
El Mariachi says, it's easier to pull the trigger than play guitar, easier to destroy than to create. And then the priest, after the whole interaction with Buscemi, says, the priest goes, "Did you want to do confession?" And Mariachi says, "Maybe later, Father, because where I'm going, I just have to come right back." No, that was good. All right. Biggest laugh, cry, scare, or thrill?
All right. So I alluded to this earlier, but I think the absolute biggest laugh in the whole movie for me was the guy that was with Tarantino's character. They killed him because he didn't check out, or where they're doing like checks on the phone, I guess, to vet these guys before bringing him back. Doesn't check out, kill him. So they end up like dragging him off through the bar, and this guy is coming behind them with a mop. trying to do like a quick little like mop up of the trail of blood and not getting any of it, but he's just like following him, and I died laughing.
Man, I really liked my favorite laugh, I think, was when Bucho shoots Shrug and does that whole scene. He's like,
Oh,
"Oh,
yeah.
look, he's got a gun. He's gonna." He just, "Hmm?
I don't know him.
I don't know him." He just shoots him. Made me laugh very hard. I didn't allude to the scene earlier because it's such a small thing, and I really don't know where else to put it. But whenever he comes up to the boy, like he sees the boy playing, he's like, "Why aren't you practicing?" And he's just bleeding out. I love that scene where he is just trailing blood as he's dragging his
Like
arm
dragging
across.
his.
I thought that was so cool. And the kid has no idea. He's just like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. I'm talking here. Oh, hold on a second. I got to go trade this drug guitar for money guitar or whatever it is. I really liked that whole, like, just him walking behind this kid bleeding on the wall was really cool.
Yeah, it was very visually impressive, which a lot of, I mean, Rodriguez, a lot of his stuff is like that, even if it's not great story, he's still bringing it.
Any other laughs? A lot of laughs in this movie, I think.
Yeah, a lot of laughs. It was very funny, which I appreciated. I think that was it for me. The only other one was what I mentioned with like the back-to-back sex scenes and how different.
Oh yeah,
that made me laugh.
Classic. All right, what's your most ridiculous moment or WTF moment?
So it's not really a moment, but I feel like the biggest like problem I have with the whole thing is like how he keeps bringing up that like, oh, I got shot in the hand, I can't play guitar anymore, but then he has no problem like just shooting up everywhere he goes, like with the gun, like, and maybe that's a little different hand motion, but I feel like kind of a weak excuse to like not playing the guitar.
Yeah. I also think I agree with that a lot. I also think it's a weak story overall. Like, you've killed all the guys, and he even talks to him at the end, like the reveal that Bucho is the mariachi's brother, everything. He's like, I didn't kill anybody. I didn't kill your girlfriend. They killed your girlfriend. You're gonna kill me? You're killing all my people? Like, why are you doing this again? He's just going up the ladder, I guess,
Yeah.
The other one, this is a big one for me.
Okay.
Also like a weird side plot story in this is the right-hand man dude's brother or his wife's brother or whatever fighting to get into the gang.
Oh yeah.
And then like the dude just stomps on his leg, breaks his leg in half, and then the next time you see him, he kicks his opponent, roundhouse kicks him, kills him, essentially, right? We assume that he killed him.
We assume, yeah.
Perfect, just a perfect kick to kill this guy on a broken leg. And I was like, whoa, that came out of nowhere. And then that guy fights throughout the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
And does ridiculous things. Even
scales a building. To get to get a better shot, I guess.
Get shot, and then as he got shot, he decides to jump off the building to try and get a better shot on Antonio Banderas' character, and just it was crazy.
He was trying to do the slow-mo Max Payne move off the roof, I think.
Bullet time, man. Everybody's into bullet time these days. It's over. It's been done. It's been done. Matrix out. All right. Anything else for the WTFs?
I feel like there was something missing to get us to like the big showdown. Like, why are they all coming to the same spot? Why is the kid there? Like, but it just happens that everyone's like, and it's not like the actual town, right? It's like somewhere else, like off to the side.
Yeah.
Or it was weird.
I never know where we're at when we're in this town. speaking of that though, and rightfully so, like we get that, like how did we get here? And then the next thing is like we get to Bucho and they have the whole explanation and he kills Bucho, but then you see all those other people pull in their guns.
Fade to black.
Yeah. And then it's like, oh, I'm in the hospital with this kid. I was a little confused. Were you confused?
Yes.
Because I was like, is this a flashback? Are we seeing what's happening before? Then we're seeing like Salma Hayek and Antonio Banderas in the Jeep, like driving off. And then I was like, is this like them going to Bucho's? Are we supposed to assume that they're like, they get killed at Bucho's? I was confused.
I'm glad you brought that up. I literally had to go back and watch that part again because we got to the end of the movie and I was like, wait, what happened to? How is he alive? Like, there was a bunch of people with guns pulled on him, like, and then we don't know.
Interesting. And that's why I didn't even list it in my scenes. I was like, it was kind of underwhelming, that whole like ending scene with him revealing that he was the brother and all this stuff. He just kills him and then fade to black.
Yeah, you get the sleeve guns one more time, which, you know, once you see those at the beginning of the movie, you're sure they're coming back.
We didn't get to see the coolest gun, which is the penis gun. We didn't get to see it. You see it in From Dusk Till Dawn, but you don't get to see it in this movie, which is really cool. But it was supposed to be in this movie, and I think it got cut from. I think the guy, the one that you liked, where the guy like launches and he shoots him. I think that was the cod piece gun originally.
Man, as he's launching, that would have been good.
Yeah. Just bam, penis all over it.
Where's the director's cut? I need to see it.
I need to see it. Director's uncut, am I right? All right, best music moment or score?
So I loved the Strange Face of Love song. During like the bar shootout and like when the guy's stalking him in the street. I think was my favorite song in the whole movie. The only other one I put down was the one that Salma Hayek singing like really softly and slowly later in the movie.
Do you know that Strange Face of Love song? You want a fun fact about that?
Yes.
The lead singer of that, Tito and the Tarantula, Tito is the guy from the bar that is like Tavo from the bar.
Tavo?
Yeah.
That's him?
Yeah. That's the lead singer of Tito and the Tarantula.
Tavo's the guy that chased him in the street too. So his song is playing while he's dying. Oh man. Interesting. What a feeling.
Yeah. What a feeling. I like the album. So the title track, Mariachi Suite, I think that was on the soundtrack, actually ended up winning a Grammy for Best Pop Instrumental Performance at the 95 Grammys for Los Lobos, who are big on this. The main part of this whole soundtrack is Los Lobos. They did the whole soundtrack for them. So fun fact there. But I also like the very beginning, the Canción del Mariachi. It's the song that I put over top of the Instagram post. But Antonio Banderas is actually performing in this. He plays the guitar, he sings. So I like that at the very beginning.
That's
the dream.
The dream. Okay.
Yeah. And I love that. Like him walking down the bar. Oh my God, that was so cool.
I forgot he smacked that dude with the neck of his guitar.
And then they just go back and end the song.
Right back.
Yeah, that's good. Great. All right. We're getting down to the F, Marry, Kill portion of this. I really didn't have a good one for this one. And I feel bad. I feel like I shortchanged because I mean, you can't just do Salma Hayek 3 times, or the mariachis or any of this stuff.
Oh, so the mariachis is the obvious one, right?
That's the obvious one, but like we don't know enough about them. So instead of the mariachis, I said they're weapons. So you have guitar case full of guns, rocket launcher guitar case, or machine gun guitar case. F, marry, kill.
Do you get both of the machine gun guitar cases? Okay, that's important. I think I'm marrying the full arsenal.
Mm.
A
A lot of protection there. You never.
Yeah. And judging by the success of the other two, I know our OG mariachi did last longer in the fight, but I also feel like he maybe hit like two people. Like they seemed very out of control, like um
The guy with the
whereas
rocket launcher actually did some damage.
yeah, like he hit the car twice, same spot, so like precision. So okay, so we're going marry the full case. We're going F the rocket launcher, and we're gonna kill the dualies.
Yeah, which makes me sad because I think the dualies is such a cool.
Dualies was cool.
It's a cool weapon, but he wasn't hitting anybody.
Yeah,
I mean,
conceptually.
yeah. Because I mean, I guess you don't have as much control when you're just hanging them by your side, Yeah, that's gonna be just crazy with your.
I wonder if
accuracy.
doing one and like holding it
Oh
with
yeah,
two
if you
hands
held it
would
like
help.
this.
Yeah.
I don't remember what I know this happens again in Once Upon a Time in Mexico, and I can't remember what their weapons are, if it's the same thing like rocket launchers and machine guns or not. But there is a similar thing with two other mariachis. I can't remember what it is. We'll have to wait until 2003 for that one.
We'll find out in 2003, people.
If I'm
We're keeping you on the
alive.
hook. Dark detail.
Wow. All right. Who do you think gave the best performance?
I said Salma. I thought she was great.
Yeah.
I gave her the edge over Buscemi, which you already
you
raved about.
You didn't even care about Antonio, bro.
I mean, he was good. There were a couple of moments where I wanted him to be better. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Agree to disagree, That's what this whole thing's about.
When he got real animated, I feel like he was not as good, which there were several times that he did that. One time in particular that he did very good that I remember, but the other times I was like, oh man, can't you just do it that again?
Give another. They couldn't. They only had a $7 million budget, so they had to keep going.
No. I'm not hating on it. He could act circles around me, but not my favorite.
Okay. I liked Salma too. It was really hard to choose between Antonio and Salma for me, but I edged it out to Antonio. But they were both I think they're both so similar. Like we've said earlier, they're very much mirror images of each other in this. They're both very funny at times. They're both providing action. There are some things that Antonio Banderas, and I wonder if Robert Rodriguez was like, hey, when you launch yourself, land like this or cock your leg to the side like this. It was so weird. Where I was like, that's got to be a direction thing. He probably told him. He's like, make this look as cool as possible. And I'm like, it doesn't look that cool. So I can see it there with like some of the poses he does and things. I'm like, not for me. I like Salma in the two different heels. I like the black and the red heels.
Yeah.
Man. Oh, we didn't even talk about the part where Salma Hayek is just walking down the street and causes a car accident.
Oh, yeah.
And then she just looks over her shoulder and she's like, I did that. And the guy's getting out of his car, doesn't even care about the other guy. He's just like, hey,
let me holler at you.
Come back here. I love that. 1995 recast or a 2025 recast or both?
I've got nothing. I apologize.
No, that's cool. The only thing I said was like Salma Hayek she's perfect in this. Like, do not want to recast her. But Penelope Cruz, another similar person in this, plays the exact same role. I love Penelope Cruz. She's an amazing actress. She was young in this. I want to say she would have been 20 when this came out. Which I think Salma Hayek was like 23 or something when this came out. So very similar.
Might not have been able to do the sexy scene, but
maybe not. Well, Salma Hayek barely did the sexy scene. We'll talk about
right.
that. Jennifer Lopez actually tried out for this. Didn't get it.
Mm.
Don't know if I would have
She'd be
liked
fine.
it. I don't know if I would have liked it. I don't know how I feel about Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah, I don't know if she would have had the comedy that I needed from her.
Yeah.
She's pretty good, like dramatic actress, though.
I don't know. It's that unless she can get like whoever it is, Ashanti or whoever sings for her. She's not supposedly singing for real. Maybe she could have got her in there. I don't know.
Oh my god!
Absolutely no for J-Lo. We got somebody. No, not a lot of J-Lo love. She's just Jenny from the block. She can't be Salma Hayek.
She's so much more than Jenny from the block now, though. You know, but maybe not in '95.
She used to have a little. Now she's not. Now she's got a lot. 2025. I was like, Ana de Armas has to be the Salma Hayek character.
Man, how could I? Yeah.
Like, and there are a lot of Latina actors out there that I looked up, and I was like, it can't be anybody else but Ana de Armas. Like, I think that she's just meant for those kind of roles. I haven't seen Ballerina. Yeah. Did you see Ballerina?
I haven't seen Ballerina.
She was great in the James Bond movie.
Yeah, she was good.
I loved her in that. She's good in like comedic roles too. She can kick ass. I'm for Ana de Armas. She is.
I like it.
Yeah. And then I couldn't think of anybody good for the Antonio Banderas character. I thought about the guy that played Blue Beetle. Have you seen Blue Beetle?
Oh, I didn't see Blue Beetle, but I know the guy you're talking about.
Yeah, he's in Cobra Kai, I think, as well. I thought about him, and then I thought Anthony Ramos too. Maybe I think he's a little too like. He couldn't be like have like this sultry look about him that Antonio Banderas has, but I thought maybe Anthony. We'll see. Who knows? He was in that Transformers movie. I don't know how much action he did in that. But.
Oh, you could the guy that's in like the new Captain America movies as like the sidekick.
Oh, I like him. What is that guy's name?
Or anything, but
I forgot.
He's kind of funny,
guy.
So he could be like a good one.
What is it? Brave New World. I know that guy. I never even would have thought. Danny Ramirez. Is the guy's. He plays Joaquin Torres in the movie. No, that's good. I like that better than my guy pick. He's in Top Gun Maverick. He's in The Last of Us. No, that's a good one. Even better. You're better.
Off the cuff.
Off the cuff. Great.
We got to put I'm drawing a name.
Cheech?
I mean,
let's put Cheech back in there. Danny Trejo? Machete?
I would like to put him back in there. I'm trying to think. Pena.
Oh, Michael.
Yeah, Michael Pena. Put him in there somewhere. Maybe the bartender.
I was about to say he could be the Cheech character.
Yeah,
the bartender. Yeah. That's good. That's really good. I like that. Man, see, I don't need you to write down notes. I need you to come up with them off the top of your head. Because you're coming up with some good ideas. Robert Rodriguez, call us. We're remaking this.
Once upon a time in
Texaco.
Thank you. You bailed me.
All right. Some fun facts. Did you do any research on this? We've
got
over a couple of them.
Got a few. I think you kind of already mentioned this about casting, but they only had Steve Buscemi for 7 days, and they only had Cheech Marin for 6 days of shooting, which I thought was pretty interesting when thinking about the budget, like, and what they could afford.
Yeah.
You already mentioned the Antonio playing the guitar himself, which I thought was very impressive, especially after seeing that opening scene. And they kept doing cuts where it would just show his hands, and I was like, "That's not him."
Yeah, that's not him.
There's no way. And then come to find out,
it was
man
him.
Did it. Also, oh my gosh,
you're doing great. It is okay.
Be right back after this commercial.
After these messages, he'll be right back. And so I'll take over. We already talked about that this is 1,000 times the amount of money that Rodriguez spent to make El Mariachi. On the day that they shot the love scene between Antonio Banderas, the entire crew showed up to see it because Salma Hayek, which is kind of gross. He said that apart from the actors, only him and the script supervisor were actually allowed in the room. So he shot it himself and kicked everybody else out. So decent man, at least, to do that. And that actually took them several hours. It was like a 30-minute would-be scene to shoot. Like, typically that's how long it would take to shoot. Took them like 7 to 8 hours to film because Salma Hayek was so uncomfortable. This was her first movie. This is her introduction to American audiences. This is her, also being completely naked on screen. And so it took a lot of like back and forth. She would like undress, redress, undress, redress, undress. So there was a lot of that. But after it all, she was happy with it. But because of all the back and forth and everything, they actually didn't get a lot of footage for the sex scene. So that's why it's really quick cuts of her and him. I should say they're both in the scene, naked in the scene. So it was interesting. But whenever the movie premiered, she actually took her parents and her brother to go see it. But then she made them go in the lobby as the sex scene played. So as embarrassing, she was like, no, get out of here to do that. So the body count for this movie, we haven't done that in a while. We've done it a couple times recently because of because of things. But we actually have a body count for this movie. 67 people died in this movie. So not too shabby. Not the word. Probably the most we've had this year. I don't even think John McClane did that much damage in Die Hard. So 67 seems like a lot. We already mentioned the penis gun that wasn't used in this movie. Actually comes back up in the 96 movie From Dusk Till Dawn. So that's another little fun tidbit. And then Raul Julia, who we last saw in Street Fighter. Also, Gomez Addams from the Addams Family. He was originally cast as Bucho. It would have been great as Bucho, but died before filming could begin. So he was cast as Bucho and unfortunately could not do it. But Raul Julia would have been freaking great in this movie. So I'm bummed because I would like to know what Joseph's pairings are for this, but like a fine wine and dish, if you could pair this with another movie for a double feature, what would you choose? So I chose 3 movies. One of them is just because both actors are in this, Spy Kids. We could always go Spy Kids, but I also said Puss in Boots. I believe they're both in the Puss in Boots franchise. And specifically, I'll go with The Last Wish. I haven't even seen it, but I've heard it's amazing. So I'm going to say Puss in Boots, The Last Wish for that one. And then I said Memento because the relationship that Steve Buscemi has with the El Mariachi character feels very much like Joe Pantoliano and the main character. I cannot think of the actor's name to save my life right now from Memento. That like, hey, I'm your buddy. I'm trying to help you, but you need to like rein this in and not, revenge is great and everything, but what are you going to do after you're done? What are you going to do once you get this guy? So Memento. And then because this is a sequel in a trilogy, I went with For a Few Dollars More, which is a part of the Fistful of Dollars trilogy, which is Fistful of Dollars, For a Few Dollars More, and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. So I went with the sequel, For a Few Dollars More, which is actually my favorite of the that Clint Eastwood trilogy there. So those are my 3 movies that I would pair with Desperado. Obviously, any Robert Rodriguez or a part of this trilogy would be great to pair with this, but those are too obvious. Come on, guys. Come on. On a rewatchability scale, how likely am I to rewatch this movie? I gave it a 4 for rewatchability because I really like this. I thought it was fun, and it was fun to watch. I kind of in the same vein as like Die Hard was, the Die Hard with a Vengeance, like super rewatchable. It's just so, it's like silly enough to where I'm so entertained by it and would stop and watch this movie to again, like definitely would rewatch this movie again. And I loved it as a child, so I have that extra like nostalgia thing for it specifically. So I gave it a 4 on rewatchability, but I had to go down a half star on that for my overall rating. So at 3.5 stars, I think this is a really, really, really fun movie. And yes, it does feel like a updated, a better budget version of the first movie, but there is something about El Mariachi that I give it that half star bump, that like it was so creative because it didn't have very much money to back it. So we've got Bucho joining back here. Let's get him back in here. Buco in here. Third time's a charm, I think.
Yeah. Oh my
I'm
God.
excited. Now I get to go back and ask you. So I already did my pairings, and I'll tell you what I did, but I would love to hear your pairings first.
Okay. My pairings. For revengey type movie with an important sleeve gun, and also a Tarantino connection, Django Unchained. I also mentioned one that we'll be watching later this year, for a 95 revenge western, The Quick and the Dead. I said any of the John Wick movies because he's kind of that like unkillable like legend, the
Mm-hmm.
Baba Yaga, kind of a similar vibe floating around. And then the other one I had for finding out that your brother is the villain at the end of the movie, The Accountant.
Oh, I haven't seen The
Spoiler.
Accountant. Wow.
Spoilers out there. It's
Is
been
that
out forever. They
is that
got a second one out.
and isn't that his brother in the second one?
Well, yeah.
Oh, well, I don't know anything about the lore, so I'll forget this, that you ever said
Just
this.
watch it tonight.
I said Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. I've never seen any of the Puss in Boots movies, but I thought both him and Salma Hayek are in it, so that's what I
Yeah,
went with.
it's the same people.
I went with Memento because of the Joe Pantoliano relationship with Guy Pearce. That's the actor. Like it feels very much like Steve Buscemi and
Yeah,
Antonio Banderas. It's a revenge thing, and
it does feel like
obviously
the same
Memento
thing.
has like a unique story structure and a lot more fun stuff. But I was like, yeah, that's not bad. And then I said for a few dollars more from the Fistful of Dollars trilogy, as it is the second one in that trilogy. So Clint Eastwood, spaghetti western. It's a good one.
Nice.
You should watch
Good
those.
ones.
Yeah. Rewatchability rating. What'd you give it?
I gave it 3.5.
Okay. I gave it a 4. What'd you give it
Nice.
overall?
I gave it a 3 overall. I think I'm a little bit lower on it than the average person, but it was still good.
I get it, and I went lower than my rewatchability. I went 3.5, and then I made sure I looked back at what I gave El Mariachi, and I think I gave it 4 stars. And I was like, I just think the charm of El Mariachi is there's just something to it, like
Yeah,
that I
agreed.
really, yeah. So
A little something extra.
well, we had a question in chat. Did you watch all the movies from this month? From the action movie month?
Miss Goldeneye, but
Mhm.
I'm very familiar with the story from that one.
Yeah. What's what would be your favorite from this month?
Oh, okay.
If you need
God.
refresher, I've got them.
Yeah, hit me with all of them.
Bad Boys, Crimson Tide, Die Hard with a Vengeance, Goldeneye, and Desperado. I know mine.
I think I'm saying Crimson Tide out of all those. I think that was my favorite.
Yeah. Which is so funny because it's like the least action of all of them.
It's so tense the
It's
whole
so
time,
good though.
man.
I loved Crimson Tide. Like
Um,
it is my it feels weird to say that's like my sneaky favorite of the year so far. But it's up
Ooh.
there. It's up there.
Nice.
Because I'd
Yeah,
never
that's a good
seen
one.
it. I'd never seen it before. So
I do think I enjoyed the Die Hard movie more than.
I had a good time watching Die Hard. I had a really good time watching it. It's entertaining. It's ridiculous. The Samuel L. Jackson and Bruce Willis of it all is fun, but I think, and honestly, if I was to rank them, it'd be Crimson Tide, Die Hard. No, Crimson Tide, Desperado, Die Hard. They're like very close, Die Hard and Desperado. And then Bad Boys and then Goldeneye.
Goldeneye is your worst?
Yeah.
I mean, that's okay. I think it's Pierce's worst.
You think it's his worst?
I think so, if I remember them all correctly.
You need to do a rewatch, I think.
Uh-oh. Are there some worse ones?
The World Is Not Enough is not enough of a good movie. Denise Richards ruins that freaking movie, man.
I've got homework too then, huh?
Don't waste your time. Don't do that homework. Do other homework. Do other stuff. We've got plenty of homework for you to do. And I'll mention it later. No. I want to get to you first. Thank you, Joseph, for doing this. And thank you for doing it in a short amount of time. You're great. Before we wrap up, I always like to get recent movie recommendations from my guests. So what movies have you seen lately and what have you enjoyed?
I haven't watched a ton. I did see Dogman. That it's like an animated movie that came out in the past couple months.
I feel like you said that in the chat the other day, and I was like, "What the hell is he talking about?" And then now you say Dogman, I was like, "Oh yeah, I remember that."
Yeah, it was fun. About a man cop and a dog cop that have an accident, and they're like, "Why don't we sew them together and make one super cop?"
It's like RoboCop with dogs.
Yeah, it wasn't quite as charming as I hoped, but it was fine. I did start watching. I have not finished the Crow remake, and it's been
not great.
Not as great as the first one so far. Yeah. But you know, there's some stuff in it that I was like, okay, cool. But I don't think I've really watched anything I would recommend lately. So sadly, 28
days later, 28 years later, yeah,
it's worth your time.
You weren't as high on it as I was.
I wasn't,
which is a bum. I'm bummed for you that you didn't enjoy it. I'm not like bummed that you didn't get. Like, I'm sad that it wasn't what you wanted it to be.
I liked the movie. I didn't like the movie as much in this franchise. Like, if it was its own thing, starting from scratch, I think I would have liked it a lot better.
Enjoyed it a little bit more
with its place in this universe.
But I think I think this weird trilogy that they're doing is going to get real interesting.
I do too. I think and I do think watching the next movies, looking back on this one, I will like it a lot more. So,
yeah.
There's hope.
Yes, is an answer to your question, like Captain Underpants cartoon style Dogman. Yes, that is what he's talking about.
Exactly.
I've only watched one movie, and I watched it today, and it's called a Minecraft movie.
Oh, you saw it? How was it?
I enjoyed it. It's so dumb. It's so stupid. Yeah, like it's so stupid. And I actually, sometimes I get annoyed with Jason Momoa, but I really liked him in it. I thought he was funny. I don't know. The kid in that movie is Screech from Saved by the Bell.
Screech Reborn?
He is Screech Reborn. Hopefully he's not as big a dick as Screech was in real life. Or has as big a dick as Screech. I don't.
Let's talk about 28 years later.
No. No, I had fun watching a Minecraft movie. I thought it was silly, and I don't know. When it comes to movies like that, where I'm like, yeah, this isn't necessarily for me. Like, I don't play Minecraft. You've actually played Minecraft. I got it though. Like, I understood it. I liked it better than the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Ooh, the cartoon one?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was like some kid 20 years from now, is, he's going to be 30 and he's going to be like, guys, a Minecraft movie is my favorite movie. Like the way I talk about Sex Drive or the way that I talk about The Wizard, like it's going to be somebody's movie like that. I know it for sure.
Probably a lot of people's.
Yeah, probably a lot of people.
Hit.
La, 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 lava. You just get like Jack Black singing. The song that he sang about Dennis is Dennis the wolf that he tamed as he's giving him away. I was laughing pretty hard at that today, just alone in my house, just laughing. So
Is it streaming somewhere?
yes, it just came out on Max.
Okay, good to know.
And then Sinners comes out this weekend on Max. So check that out. We're going to check that out in this house. But Joseph, thank you so much again. I want to get this over before I lose you again. I don't want to lose you. If you want more recommendations, movie recommendations, you want to see trailers that come out, check out that Project Hail Mary trailer that just came out with Ryan Gosling. I don't know if you've seen that trailer yet. It looks pretty fun. You can get more information about that by joining our Discord server. There's an invite below in the link tree that is located on all of the things that you're looking at somewhere. I think it's below. Yeah, below. You can follow me there. Follow us on Discord. Follow us on Instagram. That is where I post all the times and dates that I am doing these podcasts. As it's summer, we have different times, a lot of times, because of traveling, vacation, things like that. And then also my letterbox is on there where you can see all the lists of movies that we're doing this year and follow along and watch those movies from 1995. We have both the regular one and our extra credit pod listed there. So speaking of, next month, we're starting. It's a new month after the end of this. We're starting a new theme. It's just called Coming of Age, where all the movies involve growing up. And our first movie that we'll be doing on July 6th, so next Sunday, is called Now and Then. And if you haven't seen Now and Then, it is a nice little heartwarming story. I think it's some more like 60s, like kids growing up in the 60s thing. I grew up watching it, so I liked it. Check that out.
60s?
I grew up in the 60s. And then, oh, I'm dying. Our extra credit theme, which I've already talked about once on here, is called Just for Kids, where our 4 films are all kids movies from the year 1995 that didn't quite make the cut this year. And that is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, The Big Green, Tall Tale, and A Kid in King Arthur's Court. That will be the last Wednesday of July 30th at 6 p.m. So if you want to watch some of those and chat with us on that pod, we'd love to have you. Or if you just want to use your memory of those movies, you don't have to go back and watch them like a psychopath like me. You can just remember them. Watch them. So, and then always want to talk about 52/1995 music. We're doing that tomorrow at 6 p.m. This week's album is Me Against the World by Tupac. It's hip hop month this month. So get your Tupac on and join us tomorrow for that. So that's it. That's all I've got. You guys have been great. I love you. Thank you for all your subscriptions, all your follows. We love you. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time on 52/1995. Roll that beautiful bean footage.
What a year, what a time. Big screens, dreams, a movie rewind. From talking toys to heists gone wrong. We're watching it live and singing along. 52/1995. Grab some snacks, we're going live. Action, drama, comedy gold. We're reliving the stories told.
One movie a week.